Hey guys, hope everything's going well. Today I'm going to give you the answers to homework number 4 that hopefully you have completed going into today. And I am going to talk a little bit about scientific notation for those of you that are still maybe a little fuzzy on that. And I'll tell you kind of where we're going with this, okay? So let's start with homework number 4. Let me talk about that. Let me see if I have this. Not like that. Oh, I got it. Don't worry. There we go. Okay. So, here we go. So, this first one, you should have taken all of these numbers and put them into your calculator in the stat section. And had your calculator find the equation and round it to the nearest hundredths. And your equation should be y equals 2.29x minus 132.1, or 0.10. So hopefully you got that equation. Next, you are asked to interpret the slope. So your slope was 2.29. Which means that is what happens to the y value for each x. So that means for each 1 square inch of cardboard used to make the package, for each 1 square inch of cardboard, you can hold an additional 2.29 grams of cereal in the package. Or maybe you say it the other way. The amount of grams that the package will hold increases by 2.29 for every 1 square inch of cardboard that you use to make the package. Now the y-intercept is a little bit interesting here. The y-intercept is negative 132.1. So technically that means that if you use 0 inches of cardboard, so if you do not make a package, it will hold negative 132.1 grams of cereal. That, of course, does not make sense. And so basically, if you have no package, you'll have no cereal in it as well. All right? Letter C, you were supposed to make a scatter plot. And what I was hoping you would do is, of course, it said label the x and y axis. So that means you should have labeled maybe the x-axis using cardboard in square inches, and maybe the y-axis using weight in grams. That is what it means to label the x and y-axis. Putting a scale on them. So we needed the x-axis to go up to like 500. So maybe by 50s, 50, 100, 152, 253, 354, 455. We needed the y-axis to go up to 1,020. So maybe I go by hundreds, 100, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1,200. I guess I only had to go to 1,100. And then your scatter plot, you know, I'm not going to do it exactly, but you just graph the ones in the table, and they look something like that or something like that. All right? And last, you were supposed to make describe the association. So, according to the R value, right, the correlation coefficient, which was 0.98, that means there is a strong, positive, linear association between the amount of cardboard used for packaging and the amount of cereal it will hold in grams. Letter E, determine how much cereal a new green package uses. So please show your work for this. That would be 325.9 grams. And letter F, if the company wanted to sell a bulk package, 2,000 grams worth of cereal, how many square inches do they need? Again, show your work for this. It turns out to be approximately 931 square inches. On the back, number 2. All right, so again, you should have put all these numbers into your calculator, and this time your equation is rounded to the nearest tenth. It would be y equals negative 2.3x plus 83.9. The slope means that the score decreases by 2.3 for each hour of video games played. And the y-intercept is 83.9. That means if no video games were played, a score of 83.9 would be made on the test. Now, I hope you practice using your window. That's what I wanted you to do here, is learn how to use your window and use it successfully. And I think that when you make this scatter plot with that window, to me it looks like there is a moderate negative linear association with no outliers. However, when you calculate the correlation coefficient, it turns out that it is negative 0.24. So that actually means that there is a very weak correlation between the amount of hours video games you play video games and your score on the test. So for me anyway, it did not confirm my answer. I thought there was a moderate association when I looked at the graph, but it turns out there is a weak negative linear association. So actually, maybe the amount of video games you play, assuming you're using your other time wisely, does not affect your score on the test. Ha-ha. All right, and last up, we are going to do these together in class on Monday. Do your best, all right? So there's the answers to that. Now, here's what we are going to do. Two things. First of all, I have made up some notes on scientific notation for you. And these are pretty basic notes. First I said, what is scientific notation? And I described it. And I've got converting numbers from standard to scientific notation. Here's how you do it, and then here's an example. And then I've got converting numbers from scientific to standard. So here's a number in scientific notation, and I converted it to standard and described how to do it. And then I have a little section on multiplying numbers in scientific notation and dividing numbers in scientific notation, each with an example to make sure you know how to do it. So I'm going to put these notes in the review section, I guess. I'll make a review section on Schoology for Chapter 4 notes, or for Chapter 4. It'll say like Chapter 4 review materials in the Chapter 4 folder, and you can look at them or print them out as you feel necessary. All right. And then one more thing. So today your assignment is going to be to do a little practice test here. I've made up a little practice test which is going to be your homework, and you are going to do that for, there we go. You're going to do that for homework for tonight, and on Monday we are going to go over that practice test and probably go over it together, and I'll take answers from people and see how you did. All right? That's all. Good luck. Hope you have a great weekend. Make sure you check Schoology on Friday to see what I had to say. All right? See you later.